Comfy?
Yeah.
And I can hear you?
Yeah.
You can hear
Testing
yourself?
1, 2, 3.
Look
Yeah.
at that. Here we are, Subo.
All right.
It's the final stretch of the conference.
Absolutely. I mean, this has been a hell of a launch we did here. It's day 4 and really exciting.
Good feedback?
Excellent feedback.
Yeah.
I think we've had existing customers, a lot of our new prospects, and especially with our launch with our autonomous SOC, there's a lot of interest in that from a lot of customers.
Very cool. So you're with Stellar Cyber. Why don't you take a moment and give us a brief overview of your role, and maybe if there's a journey into that role that can help paint a picture for who Subo is, that'd be great.
Yeah, so I head up all product for Stellar Cyber.
Okay.
So that includes the product management team as well as the UX designers. Basically responsible for the product strategy and direction for the company.
Okay.
Stellar Cyber is a cybersecurity company that's been doing AI-based cybersecurity for almost 10 years. The product was built day one to be AI ready.
Okay.
And it basically is a open XDR platform. And what does that mean?
Yes.
It means we don't box you into what your endpoint solutions should be, what EDRs you pick. If you like CrowdStrike, if you like SentinelOne, Microsoft, we're very open. And that's one thing we take pride in. It's an open platform that we allow you to retain what you have, but people tend to switch. You don't get kind of boxed.
It's also good if you're an acquisitive company.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not locked in,
M&As,
right? Yeah, absolutely. So obviously we get a lot of interest in that too. But our focus now is all about growth. So
no, I mean if your customers are built out of acquisition.
Yeah, because they have different endpoints.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of merger and acquisitions within our accounts, right? So basically a lot of the MSSPs have bought other MSPs and MSPs, and they want to consolidate on a single platform.
Right.
And so what we do is we do cybersecurity across any IT or OT. So we actually have NDR built into the platform. We can do network detection. As well as being able to look at OT, which a lot of manufacturing companies are concerned about how to manage that. And then we can kind of do the
critical infrastructure as well. OT and critical infrastructure as well.
So we do a lot of the SCADA protocols that are typical with OT, as well as just regular IT, whether it's a firewall, or we can API get alerts from applications like Microsoft.
And that's because you have the flexibility of the underlying.
Yes. So our secret sauce is really the sensor technology that we have. It's a modular sensor, which has a lot of capability. And the reason we call it modular is, do you want deep packet inspection? Do you want to do networking? Do you want to do servers? So we filter at the location so that when it comes to our cloud, we can do more enrichment of the alerts that come in. So we can quickly determine if this is a false positive or something you need to take care of.
Got it. Can you give me a scenario of a typical customer that's using it, maybe with one or two or a couple different endpoint solutions,
so
and kind of what that detection, where you fit in, what happens after?
Yeah, sure. So we serve our biggest customers. Our channel is the MSSP market. So the MSSPs are either serving mid-sized customers who can't afford to have, a large SOC and security teams that enterprises have, and we also have very large customers that have like 50,000 devices. So think of it as an MSSP is serving, say, hundreds of customers. Our platform is multi-tenant, so they can actually look at all the 100 individually, but manage it centrally. And so what happens is daily, it's not an if, it's like everybody's concerned about a security breach. So we collect from any device, whether it's an endpoint, as I mentioned, or an application, or an OT device. Thousands of alerts are coming in daily, right? And then the SOC analyst has to determine, okay, should I be worried about these alerts or not? But think of how much effort it is to kind of sift through thousands of it. This is where our product kicks in. We have machine learning built in. The alerts come in, we enrich it. So we have different threat intelligence feeds, we have IOC feeds, and what does that mean? It's basically we use industry standards to determine, is this alert something that we should give it a reputation? And reputation means bad, good, right? So we want to find the bad actors. And so we enrich all the data. That's where AI, our machine learning, kicks in. We correlate it. The other thing is we're case management versus alert management. And what does that mean? I can get 10,000s of alerts, but several thousands of those may be very similar. and that's what we call a case.
Okay.
So we believe chasing alerts is not the right way to do it only. We need to move to case management. And that allows you to group things that are common so you can quickly get more. Because everything's about reduce the time when a bad action happens. So we're case management oriented, not just alerts. And then once you have a capability, our platform does UABA, meaning is there a user that we need to block or something? We have very deep UAB capability. We can see if there's a lateral movement, like when someone entered the network, and then make changes in terms of what we need to shut down or block the IP address. So we have different capabilities within remediation and action. So that's what it's called, right? Extended meaning we can get any source, we can detect, and then we can respond.
Right. So in that last bit, you described an actual user behavior and responding to that. Do you also, because in the OT environment, there may not be a user, but it's more
it's a machine. Right.
So,
So in that case,
scenario?
we're trying to determine, has that machine been breached or something happened? And what we can do is shut it off from the network, right? So it's not a shutting off.
Lateral movement.
The user one is, for example, we find some unusual emails deleted, right? Which is not at 9 p.m. So what we can do is, and we actually are demoing that at our booth with our new auto triage and autonomous SOC. Basically, you can go determine did that exchange admin actually do the deletions or not?
Or was
and
it
we have
programmatic?
and we have Gen I capabilities where we can actually ask hey, did you do this? And then they'll say, well, no, but I did get a lot of suspicious people asking to reset password. Okay, that's a red flag.
Right.
And then our agent technology, agentic technology, then starts looking at, okay, was there any lateral movement? Were there other? Because just finding a problem is one thing, but if you start seeing lateral movements, that's what our platform does.
Right.
You know that the bad actor is going other places. So that's the place where we would actually, we'll cut off or turn off the admin's user behavior, or we would also turn off, devices that have been breached upon.
So you've said a couple things, which I'm going to guess are part of the launch this week.
Yes.
So tell me about the launch and
yeah, so what we're excited about is, and we're actually ranked among the top 3 vendors that serve a global 250 MSSPs because of our openness and our AI-based technology. I think the next frontier is hyper-automation, and what people are talking about is AI SOC or autonomous SOC.
Right.
That's what
That's where the agentic AI stuff is.
Yeah, so that's now going to be layered on top of our XDR. We don't believe you should buy another third party. There are a lot of vendors here that do that. Because you want to be able to look at the whole funnel from the point of all detections. And so one of our customers, for example, in Austin, Texas, what they want to do is they've got 6,000 alerts a day. They want to reduce that to 100. Or else what they'll have to do is keep hiring SOC analysts to solve that 6,000. That's where hyper-automation comes in. So what we're announcing is auto triage capability. So for example, phishing is a very, high demand, and it's a problematic issue, right? So ransomware, phishing is on the rise, and that's usually the first door entry to more bad things to happen. But if you have like 10,000 employees, right, just think about how much manual effort just to figure out, is this a true phishing or not, right? So what we are doing, and we're demoing this at the booth, is if a user says that this is a suspicious email, they'll send it, and within minutes, we can give it a reputation score. And we kind of call it the verdict. So if the verdict says it's 100% bad, and we can also look at, and you can hover around, okay, what does this URL look like? Without having to click on the URL, you can see that this is malicious, right? Without having to click on the PDF, you can actually see it in our product and say, okay, we know this is bad. It's a ransomware type thing. So we can do that in minutes versus it would have taken 2-3 people and just multiply by the number of users and think of how many phishing emails everybody gets every day, right? So that's what the auto triage does. And we're going to do that also for alerts, for endpoints, as well as user behavior. So it's kind of automation on steroids. That's what the agentic AI is all about. So what we do is we have the intelligence with our XDR. Now we're going to go in steroid mode of how to do automation to even further reduce the time. And why is that important? Because we're not trying to be all to everybody like the large enterprises. We want to have a simplified but very capable cybersecurity platform for the masses, right? So you don't have to hire hundreds of SOC experts.
Yeah, so the organizations, you're serving ultimately through your partners,
Yeah.
don't have to worry about a lot.
Yeah, and it's just like, because a lot of it is built in, it's kind of automated, and with the autonomous SOC vision, it makes it even simpler.
Right.
Now, one thing that is different, we call it human augmented autonomous SOC. Autonomous by now, it's like you see the Waymos and all that. It's like there's no driver. We don't believe that's the world of SOC.
Okay.
We think the SOC analyst, human, will always be informed. But our solution that we're announcing is going to be a learning system that learns from the SOC analyst. So there'll be direct interaction, there'll be feedback, like the example I gave about the email admin. They'll talk to the admin, ask it, and they'll talk to is this what I should be doing? So it becomes a intelligent agentic system, but it learns from the human.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, clearly you're very partner friendly.
Yes.
And partner driven. So talk to me a bit about, I think you've launched 2 new programs as well. One is called Infinity, and then there's the ecosystem program. But,
so
tell
I think
me about those 2 things.
Yeah, so we have 2 key partnership that drives our business. One is the MSSP, as I talked about. So we launched the Infinity program, which kind of talks about how we can become a better partner to the MSSP. And with the Infinity program comes a lot of benefits to the MSSP. There are different tiers that the MSSP. But the whole point is we take very pride in terms of how well we work with our partners, which are MSSPs, and then we work together. So it basically allows you to have a more closer relationship with us. A lot of times I've worked in large companies, and when you have thousands of customers, you can't give them that white glove service, right? So with Infinity,
only the top tier
provide
gets the real good.
So almost all the customers we have know me, know my team, right? They have direct access to the product because they make a product better, right? So the Infinity program is more about the business relationship we'll have with MSSP. So that was announced. The second one, what we're really excited about, is our Cybersecurity Alliance program that we've announced. And a lot of our vendors are actually in our booth with the ESETs, and obviously Oracle is one of our biggest partners because we host it on Oracle with OCI. But we have all the different partners here, part of the Alliance, and that's what we call about. We believe we're the market leader in EDR federation, right? You tell us what your choice of EDR is, we work with it, but we also work with the partner. And so we're getting a lot of requests to become part of this alliance program, so that we can be a better ecosystem for our customers.
Right. And so 2 very different things there, obviously. So for the MSSPs, clearly direct connection to you, connection to the product, the feedback loop there, what they're hearing. Tell the end user customer through the MSSP the value they get because of that.
Yeah, so there's also the market development, right? Because when they grow, we grow.
Right.
So we want to help them acquire more customers, expand what they're using. So there's a lot of benefit in terms of go-to-market programs, MDFs, as part of the Infinity program. So it's basically not only how we work better together and get better support from us, but how can we help the MSSP grow, right? And kind of do the business development and go to market.
And do they gain knowledge and intelligence across? Obviously, their managed instances are separate, I would imagine. But having a view or a centralized management and a centralized view, does that help them?
So that obviously helps their operations. The other benefit is also our peer network, right? So if you're part of the Infinity, we had just the advisory council. We have the kind of the brightest MSSPs talk about challenges and issues they see, as well as opportunities. So that peer network is also a benefit to kind of helping each other, even though some may be competitors, but a lot of them is also like peer networks that they can learn from each other.
So let's talk about that last point from the competitor perspective. When you look at a SIM, it's natural that there would be a lot of connectors and pulls and feeds and all this stuff from competitors. Less likely at the endpoint, which is probably why we haven't seen much of it. So talk to me a little bit more about the partners in that space and what you're hearing from them. It's clear, they're obviously in the booth.
So for example, like ESET is over there. We have different partners with different endpoint security technologies, right? So they each serve different markets, the different type of customers. So they may compete with each other,
Right.
but there's enough
What do
market
they
out
tell you? What do they say?
They say
I want to be part of this because.
because the customer just doesn't want endpoint security. They need the entire security operations, right? And so what they want is we complement what they select an onion, right? They're kind of at the endpoint. Then we have partners that are in the cloud, and we have things at the middle, right? So we're the ones that can do it all together, and then kind of stitch in all the different points of attacks.
And of course, with the OT environment connected to that, and the ability to manage that, a lot of them can't touch that.
And a lot
space.
of our MSSPs and their customers don't just have one endpoint, right? They may have Microsoft, they may have CrowdStrike, they may have ESET. So so we that's why it's important that we can have all the different players that what customers want, because there's very few shops that just have one thing, right? Everybody kind of picks and chooses their different security tools.
All right, let's close with two things. Let's speak to the audience directly now. First, let's go with the MSSP audience. What would you like them to know? I'll ask this. Is there something that you think some MSSPs are experiencing now that's painful, that they don't really recognize how to get out of, that you can help with?
Yeah, so a couple of things, right? So one is, as I talked about, a lot of their budget constrained, there's labor shortages. They want a platform or a tool that they can scale quickly, right, and grow more customers. So the fact that we are a unified platform with a lot of capabilities. We can do network, we can do OT, we can do application protection, EDR from the same platform, right? The second thing is it's one platform, one license. We don't nickel and dime the MSSPs. So we're trying to get away from the tool split. In the old days, you had to buy 10 products. With ours, it's just one platform. And MSSPs love that, right? It's just one tool to learn, but it can do many things. It has tentacles to do many things. We also make it very attractive pricing-wise, right? We're not trying to gouge you in terms of buying this tool, but buy a SIM tool, then buy an NDR tool, then buy this SOAR tool, and it just adds up, right? Creeps up. It's just simple. We make it very simple for the MSSP. But the platform is also easy to use, so you don't have to keep hiring people to solve the problem.
All right, so then the last piece, and we'll close with this. Of course, if there's something else you want to add, we can. But speaking to, I guess when you start to get the small, medium, perhaps less staffed, I'll say less mature, but teams that aren't designed to manage security. What do you tell them? Do they contact you directly and you help connect them with partners?
Yeah, so our channel to the SME market is through MSSPs, right? Because the SMBs, they don't have the maturity or the capacity or capability to do security operations, which is why there's such a huge growth in MSPs and MSSPs that can go out and kind of help those customers. So they are reaching out to the MSSPs, but obviously we're creating a brand equity in the marketplace about we're one of the top leaders. So they want to feel comfortable. If they say, we use Stellar, they feel comfortable. So it's kind of a dual marketing approach. They're approached by the MSPs and MSSPs, but they're also aware of these different technologies out there.
Yeah. Fantastic. I have to say, we had a few minutes down in the hall, and there was good energy down in your booth.
So, absolutely.
So,
it's we
good to see that.
a lot of energy. We've got a lot of giveaways to kind of talk about, but more importantly, kind of the vision. We think we're on the right track of what security operations need to be. It's here. It's not a vision or something that we can't deliver. So we're really excited about what this is going to do, because it needs to be for the masses. It can't just be for large enterprises, right? And that's where we come in.
Perfect. Subo, fabulous meeting you. Great conversation.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for.
Thanks everybody for listening and watching. Be sure to connect with Stellar Cybersecurity.
Yeah, Stellar Cyber.
Get the whole thing out. Stellar Cyber, yes, exactly. And do connect with Subo as well, and he'll connect you with the right partner to help you with your endpoint and incident handling needs. So, thanks everybody.
Thank you very much.